You're listening to The American Entrepreneur with Ron Morris. To learn more, visit TAEradio.com.
Let's go to Tommy McClung.
Hey, I'm here. The story started about a year and a half ago, I guess. And I was buying a car, and the whole situation was very frustrating. And I, went out and went to dealerships, and they were screwing around with me on price. And I didn't know what to believe, and I didn't know who to believe. We'd go to Edmunds, Kelley Blue Book, and all these sites and look at their pricing, and dealers are telling you one thing. And I just realized this is an area where the consumer feels like, they've got a lot of information, but really when it comes down to it, you don't really know what it's going to cost you to buy a car until you go to the dealer.
You're right.
And it really is complicated even to get a price out of these guys for the most part. I mean, if you submit a quote online, they send you an email and they try to get you into the dealership. And as a consumer, you really just want to know, like when you walk into the dealership, what are you in for? My co-founder and I, which was also a founder of I Am Safer, sat down and we're like, how would we solve this problem? And we set off building CarWoo. And if you could find a way to have a compelling product for both the consumer and for the dealer, you could do a pretty interesting thing in the automotive space that really hasn't had a lot of innovation in the last 10 years, really. I think this is a lesson for any business owner, that your customers are the most important asset that you have. And really, if you have to go out of your way to make one happy or 10 happy or 100 happy, you do it. It starts with one customer at a time. And if you have that mindset from the very beginning like we are, and you build that into the culture of the company, then you set yourself up for success down the road.
Keith Ferrazzi is our guest. He is the author of 2 books, including his most recent book, Who's Got Your Back? And his first book was Never Eat Alone.
Let me go ahead and tell the folks listening in what it is that they could expect from those 2 books and what they should expect from my talk.
All right.
It's real simple. It boils down to this. You've got to recognize that it's other people that will be the key to your success. And if you don't step up and create a strategic action plan around the people in your life, if you don't purposefully and authentically and deeply decide who those people are and build better relationships, and I don't take it as an excuse that you got too much paperwork, and I don't take it as an excuse that you're shy. I need you to know that it is with and through other people that you will achieve your success. And we're going to talk about what are your goals that you're trying to achieve. We're going to talk about how do you identify who those people are. We're going to talk about why they would talk to you, meaning what do you have to offer them that they're going to want to build a relationship with you. We're then going to talk about the few deep key relationships that are critical to anybody's success, things that we call lifeline relationships. It's that inner circle that tells us the truth and kicks us in the butt and gets us up in the morning when we want to stay in bed. Who are those key individuals around you in your life? And then we're going to talk about how do you stay on people's radar and build relationships both broadly and authentically. How do you keep and maintain a broad, rich network for your success over a period of time?
We got one of Pittsburgh's hottest and most interesting entrepreneurs in studio with me, DeepLocal's Nathan Martin.
I've always wanted to get things done very rapidly. I don't like really long decision-making processes. I like to plan very quickly. And
Sounds like an entrepreneur to me.
Yeah, it's how we run our company. I mean, the same thing. We make really quick decisions. We act on them. We try to iterate as fast as possible. There was an article that was written for this one publication, and it used the term DeepLocal to describe the most valuable information. It was talking about video art activism occurring in Romania, and the most valuable information, the most impactful information was information that was very deep and moving. It was very local. So video artists that were making videos just about their neighborhoods rather than making something about global issues, so focusing very locally. So when I was working on mapping software, which is what I did at Carnegie Mellon, it was about how do we use geography as a way to tell local stories and create change.
Let's get to our guest, Robert Kiyosaki. You have a new book out, and I'd like to talk about that. But before we do talk about that, maybe a couple things about you.
From the age of 9, my rich dad was my mentor or coach. Mm-hmm. And my poor dad, school teacher, PhD, great guy. Always to go to school, get good grades, and get a job, for either a corporation or the government. And my rich dad said, well, you'll never get rich that way. And if you look at the Forbes 400 list today, you don't find any CEOs on that list. Today, the guys on the Forbes 400 are entrepreneurs. That's what our country needs right now, is we need more entrepreneurs.
Yep.
All of this stuff that Obama says we're going to create more jobs, well, you have government jobs, then all that does is create higher taxes and more inflation.
To hear more of the American Entrepreneur, Ron Morris, talking business, visit TAEradio.com.